All right, so uh, get ready to dive deep into one of the most, captivating scenes from The Godfather Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's the meeting between Michael Corleone and Senator Geary.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, the one
Yeah.
where Michael's trying to secure, a gaming license for his casinos
Right, right.
in Nevada.
Yeah.
And this senator, well, let's just say he holds all the cards, and he's not afraid to play dirty.
Well, what's really fascinating about this scene is it goes like way beyond just a negotiation.
Yeah.
It's a microcosm of the entire saga,
Right.
like a collision of values, a study in power dynamics, and kind of a glimpse into the immigrant experience in post-war America.
Yeah, okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
So we're dropped right into this, opulent gathering
Right.
at the Corleone family home.
Mm-hmm.
But underneath it all, you can feel the tension, simmering,
Oh, yes.
especially between
God.
Michael and the senator.
Well, the setting itself is crucial. I mean, the
Right.
luxurious surroundings highlight the Corleones' attempt to, assimilate, to project an image of legitimacy.
Right.
But the senator's blatant disdain for Michael, for his, oily hair and silk suits,
Yeah.
it exposes the hypocrisy at the heart of this world.
Right.
He sees Michael as an outsider, a threat to his vision of, a clean America.
Yeah, it's almost like he's intentionally trying to provoke Michael.
Oh, absolutely.
You can see it in his, condescending tone,
Yeah.
his dismissive gesture.
Senator is using prejudice as a weapon.
Right.
He's trying to assert his dominance from the outset. He's
Yeah.
not just asking for a bribe.
Right.
He's demanding subservience.
Yeah.
And Michael, with his calm demeanor and measured responses, is refusing to play that game.
Mm-hmm. There's this one line that always gives me chills.
Oh, yeah.
Michael says to the senator, "We're both part of the same hypocrisy, but never think it applies to my family."
Right.
Such a chilling statement.
It
It's
is.
almost a warning.
It's a powerful declaration of Michael's boundaries.
Right.
He's acknowledging the corrupt system they both operate within, but he's drawing a line in the sand when it comes to his family.
Right.
And it's a direct challenge to the senator's authority.
So the senator lays out his demands right.
Yeah.
$250,000 plus a 5% cut of the monthly gross from all 4 of Michael's hotels.
Wow.
He even sets a deadline, noon the next day. Pretty bold, right?
It's a move born out of arrogance.
Yeah.
The senator believes he holds all the power,
Right.
that Michael will crumble under the pressure.
Yeah.
But Michael, he doesn't even flinch.
And then comes the knockout punch.
Yeah.
That line that changes everything.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, with ice in his veins, simply says, "My offer is this. Nothing."
Mm.
You can practically feel the air thicken in the room.
It's a calculated power move.
Right.
Michael is signaling that he's not afraid of the senator, that he's willing to walk away from the deal, even if it means jeopardizing his entire empire.
Wow.
This is where we see the real Michael Corleone emerge.
Right.
Ruthless, strategic, and in
Yeah.
complete control.
And the senator, he's completely blindsided. He's used to people caving to his demands, but
Yeah.
Michael just flipped the script.
The senator's humiliation is palpable.
Right.
He leaves in a huff, defeated.
Mm-hmm.
His carefully constructed facade of power crumbled.
Yeah.
But it's important to note the subtle details in this exchange.
Yeah.
For instance, the senator's awkward interaction with Kay, Michael's wife,
Right.
reveals his contempt extends beyond Michael to anyone associated with him.
It's like he's trying to punish Michael by making Kay feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Such a petty move.
And then we have this stark contrast. Fredo completely oblivious to the gravity of the situation,
Oh, yeah.
complaining about the canapes.
It's almost comical, right?
It is.
This juxtaposition of Fredo's trivial concerns with the high-stakes power struggle between Michael and the senator.
It highlights the different worlds these characters inhabit.
Right.
Fredo, representing the naivete and innocence Michael has lost, focuses on the superficial, while Michael is navigating a treacherous landscape of power and betrayal.
Right, and just when you think the tension has dissipated, we have the arrival of Willie Chichi.
Oh, yeah. Talk about a chilling reminder that in Michael's world, danger lurks around every corner.
Right.
Chi-Chi's presence foreshadows the violence that's about to erupt.
Yeah.
He's there to report on the death of a key ally,
Mm-hmm.
a casualty in this ongoing war.
Right.
And it's a clear sign that the conflict with the senator is far from over.
So what does this all mean for you? This scene isn't just about a business deal gone wrong.
Right.
It's a window into the soul of Michael Corleone, the transformation he's undergoing,
Yeah.
and the perilous path he's chosen.
This encounter is a pivotal moment in Michael's journey, a point of no return.
Wow.
He's crossed a line and there's no going back.
Right.
The consequences of his actions will reverberate throughout the rest of the film.
And that's where we'll pick up in part 2 of our deep dive.
So picking up where we left off, this scene isn't just confined to the world of the Corleones.
Right.
It throws light on the historical context of the film.
Okay.
I mean, we're in the post-World War II era, a time of immense social and political upheaval.
Yeah, it's like the whole country is wrestling with its identity.
Right.
You have the rise of organized crime, the Cold War paranoia, and this deep-seated fear of immigrants corrupting American society.
And the senator embodies that fear perfectly.
Right.
He represents the old guard clinging to power and threatened by anyone who challenges his narrow view of what it means to be American. His disgust at Michael's oily hair and silk suits goes beyond mere personal distaste. It's a visual representation of his prejudice against those he considers undesirable.
It's fascinating how Coppola uses these small details to convey a larger message.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about the words.
Right.
It's about the way those words are delivered, the way the characters are framed in the shot, the way the tension builds with each subtle glance.
Precisely think about how Coppola uses close-ups in this scene. He zooms in on Michael's unwavering gaze, the barely perceptible clench of his jaw, conveying his controlled fury.
Yeah.
Then he cuts to the senator,
Right.
highlighting the beads of sweat on his brow, the flicker of fear in his eyes as he realizes he's misjudged his opponent.
You're right. It's like you can see the power dynamic shifting right before your eyes.
Exactly.
The senator came into this encounter thinking he had all the leverage, but Michael, through his quiet defiance, completely dismantles the senator's authority.
And this scene raises some important questions that resonate even today.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to be American?
Right.
Who gets to decide who belongs and who doesn't? These are themes that we still grapple with as a nation, especially in our current political climate.
It's a timeless story about the struggle for power and acceptance, the clash between the establishment and those who seek to disrupt it.
Right.
And Michael, with his willingness to break the rules to challenge the status quo, represents that disruptive force.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
While Michael might be the protagonist of this story,
Right.
he's not necessarily a hero. His victory over the senator comes at a cost,
Right.
both to himself and to those around him.
You're right. It's that classic Godfather paradox.
Yeah.
You can admire Michael's cunning, his strategic brilliance,
Right.
but you also see the darkness that's consuming him.
Mm-hmm.
This scene is a pivotal moment in his descent,
Yeah.
a point where he embraces the very corruption he claims to despise.
Exactly. He's becoming the very thing he sought to destroy.
Wow.
And this tragic trajectory is further emphasized through his relationships with his family.
Right. You see in the way he interacts with Kay.
Mm-hmm.
She's caught in the crossfire of his ambition, pleading with him to walk away from this life.
Right.
And then there's Fredo, completely oblivious to the danger, worrying about canapes while his brother is on the brink of war.
These relationships highlight the profound cost of Michael's choices. He's isolating himself, pushing away the people who care about him the most.
Right.
And that isolation, that inability to trust anyone, will ultimately be his downfall.
It's heartbreaking, really, to see how the pursuit of power corrupts even the most well-intentioned individuals.
And that brings us back to this pivotal scene with the senator.
Okay.
Michael's refusal to play by the rules, his willingness to risk everything, sets in motion a chain of events that will have devastating consequences.
It's like he's making a deal with the devil, sacrificing his soul for the sake of his family, his empire.
And the tragedy is, in the end, he loses both.
This scene really packs a punch, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
It's not just about a business deal gone wrong.
Right.
It's about ambition betrayal and the corrosive nature of power.
And it leaves us with some unsettling questions.
Yeah, like what?
What would you have done in Michael's position?
Right.
Could he have achieved his goals without resorting to such ruthless tactics?
It's a dilemma that forces us to confront our own values, our own definitions of right and wrong.
Right.
And that's the brilliance of this film. It doesn't offer easy answers.
Exactly.
It challenges us to think critically,
Yeah.
to question our assumptions, and to grapple with the complexities of human nature.
And speaking of complexities, let's shift our focus to another layer of this scene.
Okay.
The masterful use of symbolism and cinematic language to enhance the narrative.
I'm all ears. What stands out to you?
Well, remember how the scene opens with that lavish buffet,
Oh.
it's not just a backdrop. It's a visual representation of the Corleones' wealth and influence,
Right.
but also a symbol of their attempt to, like, buy their way into American society.
It's like they're saying, look at us, we belong here.
Right.
But the senator's rejection, his disgust at what he sees as their ill-gotten gains,
Yeah.
underscores just how deep the prejudice runs.
And then there's the lighting.
Okay.
Notice how Michael is often shrouded in shadow, his face partially obscured,
Yeah.
while the senator is brightly lit exposed.
Right.
It's a subtle visual cue that reinforces the power dynamic at play.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, despite his quiet demeanor, holds a hidden power, a darkness that the senator fails to recognize until it's too late.
You're right. It's like Michael is playing a game of chess while the senator's playing checkers.
Exactly.
He underestimates Michael at every turn,
Yeah.
and it ultimately costs him.
And let's not forget the use of silence.
Okay.
Those pregnant pauses, the moments where words are left unsaid, speak volumes.
Right.
Think about the silence after Michael delivers his nothing line.
Oh, yeah.
It's a deafening silence filled with tension and the unspoken threat of violence.
It's in those moments of silence where you really see the wheels turning in Michael's head.
Right?
He's always thinking several steps ahead,
Yeah,
calculating his next move.
exactly. This scene is a masterclass in visual storytelling.
Right.
Every shot, every gesture, every line of dialogue is meticulously crafted to convey a specific meaning.
Mm.
And it's this attention to detail that makes the scene and the entire film so compelling.
It's fun, for all the talk about violence and power in The Godfather,
Yeah,
this scene is actually quite restrained.
it is.
There's no bloodshed, no overt threats.
Yeah.
It's one of the most tense and unsettling moments in the entire film.
That's the brilliance of Coppola's direction.
Yeah.
He understands that true power doesn't always need to be loud or flashy.
Right?
It can be quiet, calculated, and all the more terrifying for it.
It's like watching a masterclass in manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Michael never raises his voice. He never makes a direct threat.
Yeah.
Yet he completely dismantles the senator's authority and leaves him utterly defeated.
And in doing so, he reveals his true nature.
Right.
This scene is a turning point for Michael, a moment where he crosses the line from businessman to gangster.
Yeah.
He's embracing the darkness that's been lurking beneath the surface, and there's no turning back.
So we've talked about the power dynamics, the symbolism, the historical context.
All right.
But what does this scene ultimately mean for you? What resonates with you the most?
For me, it's the tragic irony of Michael's journey.
Okay.
He starts out wanting to legitimize his family's business to escape the world of violence and corruption. But in his pursuit of power, he becomes the very thing he sought to destroy.
It's a cautionary tale about the seductive nature of power and the way it can corrupt even the most well-intentioned individuals.
And it's a reminder that even in victory, there can be great loss.
Right.
Michael might have won this battle with the senator, but in doing so, he's lost a part of himself, a part of his soul.
This scene is a microcosm of the entire Godfather saga.
It is.
It's a story about family loyalty, betrayal, and the corrosive influence of power.
Yeah.
And it leaves us with some profound questions to ponder long after the credits roll.
What would you have done in Michael's position?
Right.
Could he have achieved his goals without sacrificing his values?
Mm.
And what does it say about us, the audience, that we're so drawn to this world of violence and corruption?
This scene is a masterclass in storytelling. And it's one of the many reasons why The Godfather Part 2 is considered one of the greatest films ever made.
It's true.
It's a film that stays with you, challenges you, and forces you to confront the complexities of human nature.
So the next time you watch this film, pay close attention to this scene.
Okay.
Look beyond the surface, explore the layers of meaning, and consider the questions it raises about power ambition and the choices we make that define who we are.
And that wraps up our deep dive into this iconic scene from The Godfather Part 2.
It does.
We hope you've enjoyed this exploration and that it's given you a new appreciation for the brilliance of this film.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep diving deep.